Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 26 of Your Take, My Take by John and Jacob. I'm John.
I'm Jacob.
And today we wanted to follow up with our Week 6 picks and also give you now our Week 7 picks for the NFL games coming up.
Yep.
Before that, I got to give a shout out to Jacob. He did beat me in last week's picks, so he gets to wear the gold medal chain that we have for this show. So we're going to talk about that, but as we started before, we're going to start with a coin flip, and you can call it in there, Jacob.
All right, heads.
It's heads again.
Let's go.
So before we do anything, let's talk about Week 6 picks. So my record for Week 6 was 8-5. Jacob was 9-4, and so he won. I think the major difference is that he had the Cardinals.
Yep.
Beating,
I had faith.
And then I had the Lions winning, which they didn't win. It's been years that the Lions have actually met my expectations, but I'm still going to vote for them.
I'm not disappointed in the Lions this season. They've been playing decent football games. They've been sticking in there, and teams have had to beat us by field goals and a game-winning field goal.
Well, the Bengals absolutely smacked us, and so that was embarrassing.
Besides that,
so we're going to do a Week 7 picks. And so we want to start off by doing that. Jacob, do you want to start off with the Thursday night game?
All right. So for Thursday night, it is Denver at Cleveland. Both teams are a little bit banged up on certain spots. Cleveland has a lot more players hurt, or a lot more noticeable key players that are hurt. Baker Mayfield's out, and their 2 star running backs are out. Besides that, I'm going to go with Cleveland. Broncos are...
Wait, you just talked about how Cleveland had all their main players hurt, and you went with them?
Yes.
Okay,
go ahead. How much the Broncos are absolutely garbage. They played the 3 worst teams, and they all thought they were good for some reason. And then they played these 3 decent teams, and they got smacked down. Cleveland's going to smack them down. I have confidence in this. I believe this. The Broncos are absolutely awful. I can't stress this enough, how bad they are, but I'm going to go with Cleveland.
I agree that the Broncos are awful, but when you take away their starting quarterback, both your running backs, and Beckham, who's hurt, and I think Landry might be out too, plus they have 2 or 3 people on the offensive line that's questionable, they're a beat-up team right now. And so if you take that out, even if you have a bad Broncos team, which they are bad, at least they're starters. And so I have the Broncos winning that at Cleveland. Cleveland looked absolutely awful against the Arizona Cardinals.
Man.
And so tell you the truth, Denver's defense is better than the Cardinals. So I can only imagine what they're going to do to a very injured Browns team. I can only imagine that the Broncos defense is going to be like, oh, this is our chance to pad our stats. And that's probably what they're going to do. So I had Cleveland losing at home. Denver's going to win that. Right. The next game, we have Washington at Green Bay. I think this one's pretty simple. I think Green Bay is going to win that at Green Bay. Washington hasn't been playing good football. I'm very disappointed in their defense. I'm disappointed in Antonio Gibson. I'm disappointed in McLaurin. I'm actually disappointed in every single person on that team because they should be better than what they are at. But unfortunately, the Redskins aren't very good, and the Packers are. And so I hope the Packers win anyways because I want the Packers to win and the Cardinals win so that next week, Week 8, will really determine who's the best in the NFC.
This could be a good game. I'm going to go with Green Bay too. Washington has, I would say, one of the worst defenses in the league. They've been really struggling this year. Their offense is underwhelming. They have a lot of injuries, and a lot of their players have played or have underperformed. I still like Terry McLaurin. He's on my fantasy team. I have to be loyal to that guy, but he's pretty good, but he hasn't been playing well. But I secretly hope Washington wins. But I have Green Bay winning. So the next game is Kansas City at Tennessee. Tennessee did beat the Bills. This will be a closer game than people will think. I think that the Titans really do a good job at running the ball and chewing the clock and letting their opponents not have a lot of time on the clock. But from that, I'm going to go with Kansas City. Kansas City's a really good they have the best offense, I personally think. Tennessee's defense isn't that great. They haven't gotten better. And I think Kansas City's going to win. But it's going to be a closer game than people think.
I too think this will be a close game. Kansas City's offense is awful. I mean, defense is awful. Their offense is good. But the problem is they're banged up too. Claire Edwards is hurt. Tyreek hasn't been completely healthy. People are double and triple teaming Kelsey. They're basically taking away the middle where Kelsey plays, and they're taking away the deep ball of Tyreek Hill, and they're making other people play and step up. And so far, they really haven't. To be 3-3 with this type of talent is a disappointment. And so Kansas City, they finally woke up in Week 6 and beat the Reds. They're not Redskins anymore. The Washington football team in the second half. But in the first half, it was a close game, and then they pretty much handled them in the second half. But again, Kansas City's going to win this, I believe. They just have too much offense, and I think if you just give them a little bit more time, I'm just worried that Derrick Henry is going to get 200 yards and 3 touchdowns because they're not stopping anyone. Kansas City's not stopping anyone. And what he did against the Buffalo Bills with a good defense, I can only imagine what Derrick Henry is going to do to Kansas City's terrible defense.
He's the best running back in the league. That's all I can say about him.
All right, and so the next 2 games are probably the worst 2 games on the schedule, but it's Atlanta at Miami. This is a tough one because I think they both suck. And it's too bad because I think most of the SEC teams can probably beat both of these teams in the same area. But I have Atlanta winning this. I think Atlanta's just a little bit better. It's tough because Atlanta has more offensive weapons than the Dolphins do, and Tua and coming back will help them. But right now I trust Matt Ryan and his playmakers a little bit more than the Dolphins and their playmakers.
Yep. I'm going to go with Atlanta, too. I like their offense better. The whole Miami team looks dismantled right now. They all don't look like they've played a lot together, which they probably haven't. Tua's been hurt a lot. I just trust Matt Ryan more than Tua, and I trust Calvin Ridley more than Devontae Parker, and I trust...
Well, that Jaden Waddle's at number 1 now. I'm saying Waddle's pretty good?
Yeah, Waddle's good, but Parker, I think, is a more reliable target towards him. But I'm going to go with Atlanta. So the next game is personally the worst game of the week. It's the New York Jets at New England. This is going to be an interesting game. These last 2 are going to be a coin flip, but I'm going to go with New England. I just think their defense is better, and their offense is a little bit better. Or no, their defense is a little bit better than the Jets' defense, but their offense is way better. The Jets' offense is awful, and that's going to cost them this game.
Yeah, I don't love this game either. I think it's actually going to be a close game because neither one of these teams are going to go out and blow each other out. New England's going to win this game, I believe, just because their defense and other aspects of their team is better than the Jets. The Jets are a franchise that probably should be sold somewhere else and have new ownership because they're terrible.
They're awful.
and Zach Wilson, I feel bad for him. He's a BYU boy. I feel bad they got put in a bad situation. They think that Zach Wilson is going to be able to do what Mahomes does. And Mahomes, remember, didn't play until the second season. They're throwing Zach Wilson in right away, and it's unfortunate for him because they have not surrounded him with an offensive line or offensive talent to do what he can do. Yep. But unfortunately, that's the Jets in general. And so that's why I have New England winning. I think New England is obviously a better organization, and they probably have more tools and more they know how to win. The Jets know how to lose. So I have New England winning that game. The next game we have is Carolina Panthers and the New York Giants. Again, this is not a game that I'm probably going to watch, but I think Carolina is better than the Giants. The Giants are hurt. The Giants are pretty bad. It's sad that the 2 teams in New York who have awful. A lot of resources, have a lot of media coverage, have
and
a lot
fans.
Yeah. They're terrible. I would hate to be living in New York and being a football fan right now because their college teams aren't good and their pro teams are no good, and their basketball team's not very good either. So I have Carolina winning this one. I think McCaffrey's out, but they have found ways to win without McCaffrey being in there, and so that makes a big difference. And Sam Darnold has done all right. Last week it wasn't very good, but he's done all right, and so I think Carolina squeaks by the Giants.
I also have Carolina winning. For me,
can I ask you a serious question? Are you copying what I put down there? Because I asked you not to copy when I was doing the answers. Okay, go ahead.
I just have a lot more reasoning to mine. I think that this could be a closer game because Darnold's been playing like how he played on the Jets recently, and Giants' defense is not terrible. They have good DBs, and I think this will be a closer game than people realize. I think it'll be a low-scoring game, but I trust Carolina more just because they're more healthy. Because we don't know if Saquon's gonna play, and I don't know if Daniel Jones will play either. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Carolina. This is gonna be the hardest game. Cincinnati at Baltimore. I'm gonna go with Baltimore. Every time I criticize Lamar Jackson, he seems to prove me wrong.
he's a front runner for the MVP. Him and Kyler.
Yeah,
those two.
It's Kyler and then Lamar.
It's pretty close, I think.
But I just think that they've been playing really well. They killed the Chargers, which I was completely wrong on that.
Yes, you were.
Well, are you gonna do that too next? But Baltimore looks pretty good this season. Wait until playoffs, but I'm gonna go with Baltimore.
So it's Cincinnati at Baltimore, and that's the only reason why I have Baltimore winning this game is it's at home in Baltimore. I think it's gonna be a very close game. The Bengals have been a pleasant surprise. And tell you the truth, they're exciting.
Yeah.
They have young playmakers, and they have and they let it air. They air out their passes, and that's always exciting. It's always you don't know what you're gonna get, but people like the bombs and people like the long plays. But you got to also admire Lamar Jackson, what he's been able to do with his team and their ability to take wash-up running backs like Freeman, Bell, Murray, all those guys. Shouldn't be in the NFL, but somehow they're still playing. But they've been playing very well, and it's basically a testament to Lamar Jackson saying, "Hey, I can win with anyone. You put anyone around me and let me do my thing, I'll win." And he's been doing that, and he's been proving us wrong. But his passing's gotten better, and he's been playing better. So I have Baltimore winning that game at Baltimore.
Yes.
So the next game this is also, I believe, a tough game. Philadelphia at Las Vegas. I don't like the Raiders. And so I have Philly winning this game. I think Jalen Hurts is going to have a big game, and I think their defense is going to be able to smash Carr. And who said it? It was a defensive lineman that said, I think it was Bosa. Bosa said if you hit Derek Carr, he breaks down. Like he's not mentally tough enough to take the hits and continue on. I think people are going to realize that. And you know what? If I was a defensive coordinator and it was a close call between getting a legitimately hard hit on him or taking a penalty, I would still smack Derek Carr and risk the penalty because you know what? It's gonna cause him to have a little mental breakdown. And I think Philadelphia's defense is all right. And I think Jalen Hurts and the playmakers he has is going to be enough to win at Las Vegas and beat the Raiders in Las Vegas.
Yes. I also picked Philadelphia just because I don't like Derek Carr. I believe that their team was way overhyped, same way as the Broncos.
They're 4-2.
Same way as the Broncos. I just think that...
Wait. No one thought the Broncos were going to be very good.
Yes, they were. They were 3-0.
Drew Lock was going to be their starting quarterback.
No.
And he's awful.
After they were 3-0, I have people that were telling me that they were legit.
Who, the Broncos?
The people that told me that, you know who you are, and you know how wrong you are. That's all I'm going to say. You guys know who you are. But Philadelphia's been playing good. Jalen Hurts has been playing well. He's been doing well for my fantasy team. He sneaks in a lot of touchdowns.
But they play well when they're down by 3 touchdowns. That's what happens.
They've been playing tough teams. They played the Cowboys. They're not an easy team to beat. And they played other teams that score a lot of points.
But you can't be down 3 touchdowns and expect to come back
They're
every week.
They're not going to play a team that's going to score 3 touchdowns. I believe Philadelphia also has pretty good corners. They have a decent defense of line. But in the end, Philadelphia is going to win just because I like their offense better.
You hate the AFC West besides the Chiefs.
Yeah, they're not better than the NFC West.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, man, the next game is going to be the Detroit Lions at the LA Rams. As much as I want to say the Detroit Lions will win, they're going to play the LA Rams. The Detroit Lions are no Arizona Cardinals. Therefore, the LA Rams are going to kill them. That's all my analysis.
I don't think they'll kill them. That's where you're wrong. That's where you're wrong. I think
this is a revenge game. Matthew Stafford's going to have the best game of his life.
Wait, why is it revenge? Stafford asked to be traded. It wasn't we traded him because we were disgruntled.
Stafford would be the best quarterback if he threw the game purposely for the Lions.
So, I have Detroit not winning this game.
Okay.
Just the Rams are good. I mean, anyone else that was somewhat close to Detroit, I'd probably put Detroit. But here's another thing. We're traveling to the West to play the Rams. The Rams are probably going to win this game. Not probably, they're going to win this game. I don't think it will be a blowout like Jacob thinks he is.
It is. We're going to be a blowout.
And I hope some of my Detroit fans who live in LA will be there. ACD, I hope you go and you're sporting some kind of Lions jersey, and we need some fans in there. And so I hope the Lions do put up a game. I just think the Rams are better, and the Rams are going to win this one.
Yep.
Houston versus at Arizona. Arizona, and I hope J.J. Watt. I hope Hopkins. I hope all the players that Houston somehow just gave up on, which was ridiculous. They're the second worst franchise, maybe behind the Jets, where they just
Lions
decide.
Are a close favorite too.
Hey, easy. So I have Arizona winning this one, but these kind of games worry me because let's be honest. We have to play Houston, and we're thinking about Green Bay coming home to us the week after on a Thursday night.
Yeah.
And so I'm wondering if they're going to overlook Houston and not play as hard because they're trying to not get people hurt or things like that. So this could be a trap game. Mm-hmm. And you're in the NFL. Anyone can beat anyone in the NFL. But my question is, Arizona, you want to stay perfect and want to have a big game against the Packers. And so I think the Arizona Cardinals will pull it out. I hope that they don't overlook the Texans.
Yeah, well, I of course have Arizona. I'm a huge Cardinals fan. I love the Houston Texans because they gave us free players and we gave them crappy players with crappy contracts. So it's but I agree. This could be a trap game. Do I believe that Houston will win? No, they're not a good team at all. Davis Mills is awful. Their defense is awful, and just from that, they're going to lose.
But here's the thing. Sometimes I've seen the Cardinals play down to the competition. Like, it took us until the middle of the second half.
I think we were just playing with them.
The Jags
didn't look like we were trying.
But that's the problem is we play down to competition sometimes. When we played against legitimately good teams like the Browns and the Rams, we went it hard and we were able to beat those teams. But when we played subpar teams, we kind of played down thinking we really don't need to execute everything to beat a weaker team. That's a trap game, and that's what scares me.
All right, Chicago at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay. Chicago doesn't have a... They've been playing not great. Justin Fields has only completed 50% of his passes. He's not been playing well recently, or he's okay. He's a good player. I don't think he's playing well right now, but that's what we expect from these rookies. But
he also has a starting running back hurt, and so I also have Tampa Bay. I think Tampa Bay is a way better team than the Bears. I don't like the Bears, and I do like Justin Fields. I just don't think the coaching staff has put Fields in a position to succeed. When you have your starting running back who's turning it on get hurt, and you have two backups, one has COVID and the other one's a third string rookie as your starting running back, what are you going to do? And so they don't put him in position to succeed. What they should do is draw plays. They should let him run out of the pocket.
More design runs.
Or short passes to get the ball out of his hand. They don't do that. And I'm not an NFL coordinator or coach, but as a diehard fan, I see issues with that coaching. But Tampa Bay is going to win this one. All right. So we have the next one. We have the Colts at San Francisco. I think this is going to be a really good game, too. Mm-hmm. This one is tough. But I can't root for the 49ers because they're in our division, and I hate them. And so I have the Colts playing and winning this game at San Francisco. San Francisco's still banged up. I don't know if Jimmy G is going to play or not, and their running backs are still banged up. I do like Debo, but everyone else seems to be a little bit banged up. Even Kittle maybe is a little banged up. But the Colts have a legitimately good defense, and they understand who they are. They're going to run the ball, and they're going to hopefully limit Carson Wentz and his decision-making and let him do play actions. If they do that, they're going to win that game.
Yeah, that's a good analysis.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's like you were reading at my notes.
You didn't write your notes.
They don't know that. But yeah, I believe that they gave Carson Wentz everything that he needs, and he's been taking advantage of it. They've been making him pass the ball or give the ball to Jonathan Taylor, and it's been working. I picked the Colts because 49ers are all banged up in all sorts of places, and they're not that great, honestly. But
They're okay.
the Colts have a legit defense, and they played 3 quarters well against the Ravens, but and the Ravens are way better than the 49ers. So I'm gonna go with the Colts. For Monday Night Football, it's gonna be the New Orleans Saints at Seattle. Seattle's hurt right now. They don't have Russell Wilson for at least 3 games, so he'll be out for this game, and Chris Carson will be out for this game. So we get to see more of Geno Smith. But I'm going to go with New Orleans. They're way more healthier. They have a good defense, and I trust Jameis more than Geno Smith.
Yeah, they're both pretty bad quarterbacks. I mean, Jameis is all right. Geno, it's funny Geno's still in the NFL.
Yeah,
but I have New Orleans winning this game too, and I'll tell you why. It's Seattle had some bad luck. Let's be honest. Alex Collins looked great last week. Guess what happened? He got hurt
on the last play of the game.
And so you're looking at these type of things. You have 2 great receivers in Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf. But when Geno can't throw the ball to him, they're rendered useless. Yeah. Then you have a running back who actually does well, and then he gets hurt. So they're waiting for Rashad Penny to come back. He hasn't done anything in his 3 years or 3 or 4 years in the NFL. So
he always gets hurt too.
So the Seahawks are kind of in a bad situation. I like the Seahawks. I think they still have decent talent around at least their defense. I just don't think they have enough offense to beat New Orleans, who has a really, really good defense. And they also have Kamara, and they have playmakers themselves. Yep. So I have the New Orleans winning that game too. So looking at it, I think Jacob looked like he copied me. Besides,
looks like you copied me because I had a better record.
So the Thursday night game will determine who's right. Jacob, he said the Cleveland Browns, and I said Denver. So whoever wins the Thursday night will have a better record. And so let's be honest, I'm going to do it. I gave Jacob a free pass.
We'll have the same record then.
Why? Oh, we'll be tied. But yeah, so that's our week 7 pick. As you can tell, we're very similar. I think a lot of these games are going to be close and come down to the wire. It's a lot of kind of not so great games. But week 7, those are our picks. I hope you enjoyed the video. Like us, subscribe, and leave us a comment. We'll see you next time. And once again, this is episode 26 by Your Take, My Take by John and Jacob. I'm John.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you guys later.